Hey everybody, welcome in today's video. I'm Jennifer from Gen W Arts, and recently I've been visiting my local action store and I bought some things that I thought would be fun to play with. So today's video I'm going to mess around with the stuff that's in the bag. Anyway, hope you enjoy. First up, I got 4 sets of 6 mixed colors markers, such a tongue twister that is, from Decotime. Each set costs a little under €2, so that's basically 33 cents per marker. Then I got 3 sets of metallic watercolors, which reminded me a lot of the Japanese Kansai paints because of their pen size. Each set of 6 paints and a water brush costs €1.39. I wasn't expecting a lot of these paints, but I was intrigued enough to give them a try. These are also from the brand Decotime. So for comparison, I took my Kuretake Gansai paints out to show you what I mean by how these from the action reminded me of those. Also, it might be fun to swatch both paints out to see how the cheap knockoffs compare to the more expensive Kuretake paints. First off, I noticed there's something funny with the cheap paints binder, as it can be dented and feels gummy, while the Kuretake paints are nice and hard when dry. But then we are looking at products which have such a large price gap between them. The cheapest price I could find for the Gansai Tambi Story Colors was €14.95 at penstore.nl. So we are looking at less than 30 cents for the action paint compared to €2.50 for the Kuretake paint. Give or take. This is going to be interesting. When I started swatching the cheap paints, I was happily surprised by how easy they reactivated, and despite my low expectations, they were quite pigmented, both on black and white paper. They absolutely don't beat the quality of the Kuretake paints, and I question their light fastness, but they were not bad at all for a 30 cents paint. I really loved the dark blue, the dark violet and magenta colors. They were really nice and vibrant and had a nice shimmer. Also, I was pleasantly surprised each set came with a water brush. Now for the markers I had higher expectations, as so far all the alcohol markers I bought from the action from the brand Decotime worked surprisingly well so far. So as always, when I get new art supplies, I quickly swatch them out to get color reference and to get a general feel for the product. These markers have a very flexible fine brush nib that remind me of the nibs that the chameleon markers got. Just the blender marker got a fat bullet nib for some reason, I don't quite understand. So on the packaging they advertise that you should hold the tips of 2 colors together to get a color gradient. So basically they are cheap chameleon marker knockoffs. Of course you don't have to use them like that and just color with them like a normal marker. So now that we had a quick look at these materials, I think it's time to put them to the test, so let's start drawing, shall we? I start out by sketching my design on a piece of Stonehenge paper. I really like this paper for alcohol markers. I decided to draw a tiger as 2022 is the year of the tiger. Also, I thought a frame of simplified flowers would work well with the color theme I had in mind. Also, sorry for my long absence here on YouTube. At the time when I was recording and drawing this piece, I think it was in September 2021, my normal job I work in the elderly healthcare had started to consume my life, as I had to work a lot of extra hours as there was a massive shortage on staff there. Actually, this situation still hasn't quite gotten any better, so for months I was simply too drained to create content, let alone to make art. The bit of energy I had left I had to conserve to look after myself, my kitten, and of course the people I care about. So art got on the low priority list for a while. Things are still quite busy for me at the moment, so I can't promise to bring out more content more regularly. Algorithm is gonna love my channel so much. But I'm still here doing the best I can. After I finished the sketch, I inked over the pencil lines with a permanent fine liner pen. I think I used a Bimoji pen here. These are water and alcohol inked proof, so lines won't smudge when colored over them with alcohol markers. Then I filled in the entire background with a very dark grey color. I am planning to use very bright colors and gold leaf for the rest of the picture, so a dark background will make all of that pop even more. As you can see here, sadly the marker tips start fraying very fast, especially when you start to put two nibs together to get the color gradient. But as I recall, with the chameleon markers, the same thing happened, and the makers of those markers, they said that that was a normal thing, that it was even supposed to happen. So for the flowers I used this color gradient technique and decided to go for the three colors I like the most of the metallic watercolor sets, so I could paint over them later to add some shimmer to the flowers. And then I remembered, I was thinking like, wait a sec, let's do the tiger stripes in the same colors as the flowers instead of just black. I was glad I went with the idea, as it looked so darn good in the end. I did decide to make the stripes turn black-ish on the lower portion of the tiger's face. I thought that made the bright stripes stand out even more, but also to get a sense of normalcy or rather realism in there. I don't know, it just seemed like an interesting idea at the time. Then I went over the flowers with those three similar colors of the metallic paints to add some shimmer. As a nice bonus, it deepened the already laid down colors some more. I really liked the effect. Actually, watercolors and alcohol markers can look quite nice used together in one drawing. You can get some nice effects layering watercolor over alcohol marker, as they are both transparent. I have done a video about that before, called Creating an Easy and Fast Glow Effect with Watercolors and Copic Markers. For the rest of the tiger's fur, I decided to go with warmer colors like yellow, orange and red colors to create a nice contrast against the cooler colors of the flowers and the stripes. This makes for the tiger to really pop out of the page. The markers blended really well together as expected. Also, later I found out that there was supposed to be some kind of tubey thingy included in each set of those markers, which you could use to insert two markers into to have the nibs touch for the gradient. I completely missed those. I think they could have been hiding in those long square tubes on the side from the package, which I thought it was just part of the packaging. Oh well, long story short, they probably got tossed along with the packaging into the bin. Not that I needed those anyway. Like with the flowers, I added a bit of those metallic watercolors on the stripes to add some shimmer on them. Then I used a teal and a light yellow to create some shadows and highlights on the white parts of the tiger's fur. With a white jelly roll pen I added some highlights to the eyes and the nose, and decided to outline the flower frame with the white gel pen to make them stand out some more. Now that I'm pretty much done with coloring, I want to add the gold leaf to the moon behind the tiger. I first apply 3 layers of gold leaf adhesive for the gold leaf to stick to the paper. I let each layer of glue dry before I add the next. Now make sure the adhesive is completely dry before you put the gold leaf down, otherwise it becomes dull and lumpy. Then finally I draw in the white whiskers with a gel pen. Also, I didn't like the white border, so I decided to just make the entire border black to blend in with the rest of the picture. Looked so much better that way. Also, you can seal your gold leaf with gold leaf varnish. I did not do it because this piece will be kept safely in a map with the rest of my non-light fastness illustrations, so for me it did not make any sense to do it. But if you're selling or framing gold leaf pieces, it is advised to seal those with protective varnish. And we are at the end of this long overdue video. Sorry again for the long wait. Nevertheless, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I hope with this I could show you that it is not always necessary to have fun and make nice art with just high-end and expensive art materials. Even with a small budget, it is possible to create awesome art and to have fun. As I can say, I really enjoyed working with these dead cheap art supplies. As far as I know, these supplies are just sold in actual Action stores, so sadly I can't provide product links down below. But if you're living near an Action store, be sure to drop by and check out their craft section. You may find some of these fun and cheap supplies. Anyway, as mentioned, algorithms are not really in my favor, so if you wish to support my channel, hit the bell icon and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again in the next video. Have a good one!